Alright boys, appreciate you tuning back in with another one, man. This one's how to disappear and recharge. Disappearing and recharge is if you've been grinding for a certain amount of time, right? Let's just say you've set yourself a target, a financial target, and you've met that quota. Maybe you wanted to stack up 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, right? And you've managed to accomplish that now. So now you've got that 15 aside, that 20 grand aside, whether it's in cash, which it should be, or whether it's in your account, but always stack the cash, right? If it was me personally and I had 15 grand cash stacked, I would grind for another couple months or however long it takes to make me another couple thousand, just so I can go somewhere else for 100 days. Whatever country that may be for you, it should not be in the same city. That's not a real recharge. If you can get a bus back to where the fuck you just left, that's not a real recharge. You have to take a plane somewhere to a new country. If you're from a country where it's like a rainy climate, maybe you want to go and see somewhere where there's some sun. You know, there's a nice beach. You know? Somewhere you can recharge, refresh. Right? What I used to do back in the day and what I still do, right? I haven't done as much recently, but I had to remember, I used to travel a lot. And I used to go somewhere. Like I used to grind, right? I used to do my hustle, make enough money from my hustle, and then go somewhere else. I would leave the country completely. And then while I'm out of the country, maybe I'm out there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it is, long enough to reset your mind to some degree. And then while I was out there, I would think of a new plan or to update my plan of what I was doing in the city that I was just in. Right, so if I was selling something, for example, right, I would strategize a new way how to expand that, how to make that a better business. You need to recharge. My father used to always tell me, right, water that's not moving is stagnated water. It's not good to drink, it's dead. Right? Now when you think about it, water's constantly flowing, right? Not so much. If you go to a river or ocean, then yeah, water's always flowing. But think about the times when you see a duck pond or something in the park, right? And then the water's just still. It's got all that water mold, whatever it is, algae, all that shit. And it's just flat. That's not good water no more. Because water is water is life, right? It should be always flowing and moving. That's why Bruce Lee said, be like water, adaptable, constantly flowing, constantly moving, right? So like I said, I've spoken previously on having visual motivation. You can only go so far with your mind and being motivated. Let's just say you're grinding for 100 days. Eventually, you're gonna drag yourself out of the bed, and it shouldn't feel like that as a man. You should always feel some sort of excitement of I've got this and this to do, and then jump out of the bed and get to it. But if you're in a position where you're dragging yourself out of bed, you're waking up, and you're thinking if you want to jump out of bed or want to sleep longer, you haven't got something that you truly want to attack yet in life. If you live in London, if you live in New York City, right? Something in that city is making you feel uninspired. So at some point, you need to establish some inspiration. You have to go somewhere else. You have to go somewhere else long enough to recharge. Like for me, right, I like leaving London. I don't feel there's something in London for me, so I left there. I went somewhere else. But I also don't like being in England. So what I would do is, right, I'll go Southeast Asia on a 90-day visa or something like that, right? So I'll be out there for 90 days to 100 days. and then I will just look around at the scenery I'm at and then be re-inspired again by life, motivated again, naturally, right? Sometimes in life, right, you just can't force things, right? Let's just say you should always have a plan as a man. You should never be without a plan, right? And if you're feeling like you can't think of a plan, then your body is too drained out because you just obviously spunked off, right? And you're fucking off your natural essence. You should always have something you're moving towards and something you're moving away from, right? Now, your plan should always be something you should focus on solely. If you want to get out of the country from where you are to a new country and start a new life and migrate somewhere else, there's nothing stopping you other than you having some sort of fear, right? And you keep slowing yourself down. At some point, you're gonna have to put your dick down, right, and focus on what is more important: me busting a nut or me going to over here. And then when I get over here, I can treat myself and just do something with a female. You always gotta have something ahead of you, man. Something that's gonna inspire you to do better. Something that's gonna have it's like a hold on you. You can't let it go, right? I'm not gonna feel satisfied about my life until I've accomplished this. And every time I fuck it up, I'm just gonna set myself backwards, and it's gonna make me miserable as a man, right? You gotta have a bigger picture. Like I said before, the bigger picture is what stops you from going backwards. If you're a recovering alcoholic, if you're someone who does drugs or any kind, right, you need to have a bigger picture to say, you know what, I'm done. I can't go cold turkey, but at least I can go one day at a time, right? But I need to have something in my mind that motivates me to stop doing this shit and stop destroying myself and move forward. Maybe when I get over there in 6 months of hard work and hard grinding and discipline, I'll be proud of myself, and maybe I'll have a little snort here, maybe a little sniff there, maybe a little smoke here, a little drink here, whatever. You've earned it, right? In your mind, you've earned it. And God will be proud of you, and you'll be proud of yourself, because at least, you know, you show some restraint. Life is hard, brothers, especially for a man, right? Every man has some sort of vice. I said this already. It's not possible to go through life as a man and not have a vice. Some men like alcohol, some men like smoking weed, some men like having sex. It is what it is. It's just, you got to understand when to put them things on a back burner so you can move forward. Some things are just destructive in yourself, right? Self-destructive. Now, if you got something you want to move forward to, you're going to be less likely to want to destroy yourself, because you're saying to yourself, you know what, I've got a future ahead of me. Let's just say you're around the environment and everyone around you's crashing out and getting arrested and going to jail. If you've got a life that you think that you can see in your mind and you want to move forward to, you're less likely to be emotional and crash out like everyone else, because everyone else around you obviously ain't got no future in their minds. Let's just say you're a young kid, and you're going to university in a whole different country. That is your reason to stay sharp and just lock yourself in the yard and just focus on your dream, your future, and say, you know what, I ain't gonna do the same shit as everyone else, man, because I've got a future ahead of me, right? And you don't crash out, you don't get over emotional, you don't get yourself arrested and then put a criminal record on yourself, because you've got a future ahead of you. You've got something that's so important to you. I will not fuck it up for me or you. It has to be that way. You gotta have something that inspires you to go forward, right? There will be a time where I leave the UK completely and I'll be in Southeast Asia. I just think Southeast Asia is a better place as of right now. You know, I left London mentally and physically, and that was a big help in my life. It helped me reset. But now it's time to take it up a notch and then reset completely in a different land, you know? Migrate somewhere else and start fresh. And then you constantly keep upping the levels and going on here to here to here. Wherever you feel like you need to be on this earth, then that's what you gotta do. And tying yourself down with housing payments, mortgages, kids, marriages, all that bullshit, it's gonna make you miserable. You can't just up and leave and take your mortgage and your house and your wife and your kids with you. If you have that situation going on, you are stuck in one position. You might not want to admit that, but you're stuck in one spot. You can't just up and leave, especially if you've got kids. You're going to be seen as selfish. You're not a good father, you're not a good man. So if you are a man that is singular, you are by yourself, you are between the ages of 20 to 50, this is your time to move, man. Do things, man. There is no benefit to having children everywhere and just being stuck in the house with one female. If you're a man that's got kids, alright, cool, you got kids. Maybe you're a man that wants kids. But you be a man and you go out there and you live your life and you do things and you come back with stories. You come back with some meat for everyone to eat. You come back with, you know, a lion on around your shoulders and say, everyone tuck in. You have to go out there and live your life, man. You can't be stuck in a house with a female and some children and you're going back to work over and again every day, and you're just living the same cycle. You're being hypnotized by a certain frequency, man. You need to break out of that. It's important to have something that you want to move forward to and recharge you, man. You can use your phone all day, but at a certain point you got to leave that phone alone to charge. Alright, brothers, I appreciate you watching the content, man. Get the likes up, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year, man. I'm gonna keep dropping this content for you. I appreciate the watches, the likes, the messages. I'll be right back. Peace out, man.